Yerp, it's Perp, and are you ready for this Sunday? Are you ready for the epic conclusion? The epic finale? The finale of Fire and Ice? Sorry, I had to throw that in there, but yo, what's going on, y'all? And no, I haven't slept, and I just binged 8 hours and reviewed all 8 episodes of Black Summer. I'm exhausted, and I got work later today, but it's all good because I wanted to make this video because Game of Thrones is coming back this Sunday. Woo! Who's excited? Not me, but I wanted to make this video asking the question, will Season 8 of Game of Thrones be a masterpiece or a flop? Let's find out in this video. But before I get into that, the meat of the potatoes of this video, I want to let this be known. I do not hate Game of Thrones. Let me repeat that. I do not hate Game of Thrones. But I do think it is pretty average at best. I used to like a lot of characters of Game of Thrones, but after season 7 just left a huge shitty taste in my mouth, and I cannot forgive them for that because season 7 was trash. But you know, since this is the final season, what am I gonna just not watch Game of Thrones? No, I want to see how this ends, because for me, I have a lot of issues with Game of Thrones. Some issues that some people don't address. Just certain characters, like let's take Jon Snow real quick. Let me get him out the way. Jon Snow is the most boringest main character I've ever seen. Probably more boring characters out there, but like he's definitely the most boringest character. The most overrated character. And just like, I don't understand why people got so much love for him. He doesn't do shit. He hasn't done shit the whole series. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and don't give me that Battle of the Bastards bullshit, because that shit was ass. Like, you could have got anybody to do that bullshit. Come on now. But that's just my opinion. I wish they would have gone with a different take with Jon Snow, like make him more like Nafumi from fucking Rising of the Shield Hero. Now that is a main character, man. If y'all haven't seen that anime, I highly advise you do, but it's not about anime. It's just certain characters. I like the story and the atmosphere and the lore that they've made with Game of Thrones. I feel like that all is more interesting than the characters, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be pretty balanced. But there's a lot riding on this season, you know, because not a lot of shows out there have great last seasons. Like take Lost, for example. First 5 seasons were amazing. Then season 6 came around and that shit was trash. Look at Heroes. The opposite happened to Heroes. You had one good season, which was the first season, and then the rest was trash. But that's another story. I just find it kind of funny that once they passed the books of Game of Thrones, that's when they decided to cancel the show. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about that, but I always think about that. You know, I think that's a little shady. I'm probably the only one that thinks that. But I overall I hope people get what they want. You know, I hope people watch this last season and and it really does something for them, you know. Like the way The Leftovers ended for me, it was a satisfying ending. That's all I want for just fans, people that are fans of the show, to get, you know, their just due, to get a proper ending to this story. You know, they've been following it for damn near 8-9 years now. So for them to just half-ass, that's why I give season 7 so much gripe, because it's like you wait till season 7 to just throw up a bunch of bullshit. Like, that was just off to me. I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. And if I was a super massive fan of this show, I'd been pissed about that. But there's a lot of things in Game of Thrones as a whole that pissed me off that I'm not even a fan of. It's just, I wish they would have kind of remixed everything in the book and not gone so on the nose with it with most things that played out. But overall, I think season 8 will be better than 7. That's not saying much, because season 7 was trash. But I'm not expecting this to be a masterpiece, because you only have 6 episodes. I'll be really shocked if they wrapped up everybody's story in 6 episodes. Now, would y'all have rather have Game of Thrones this last season to come out weekly, or them put out a episode once a month? I think them doing it once a month would probably give them more ratings, or it might have hurt them. But if I was HBO, I would do that just to milk for 6 months. That's 6 months of Game of Thrones and 6 months of worth of content for YouTubers, you know. But that's a whole different discussion. If this season flops, though, will that hurt the overall series? I don't think so, because like I said, I enjoyed half of Game of Thrones, like from season 1 to 4. I enjoyed that. So if 5 through 8 is trash, I'm cool. Like, you still got the original, just you got the first 4 that you can always go back to, you know. And I'm pretty sure the prequels are probably gonna be better than this. Hopefully put the same amount of budget and dollars behind the prequels, and it's not like shit. But I just think this whole 8, like, I always thought that Game of Thrones would be like at least 10 seasons. You know, I don't know. If I was the showrunner of this, I would have definitely just made this one big ass season and just split it in half. I don't understand why they didn't do that, but you know, what are some of y'all expectations for this season? The people that are like real fans of this shit that have been watching this since day one. I haven't been watching this since day one. I started watching Game of Thrones after the 3rd season, because I know I've been watching Game of Thrones before. I watched Game of Thrones before The Leftovers started, so that was like probably 2013 probably was when I started Game of Thrones. It had to be, and I'd sit there and just binge watched it. Like, I enjoyed season 1. Season 2 was boring as shit to me, but there were some cool moments in there. Season 3 was epic. Season 4 was cool. I like season 4. Actually, season 4 was epic too, but then it just started going all the way downhill from there. I enjoyed certain aspects of like season 6, but yeah, it's just, there's a lot riding on the show. I'm gonna definitely watch this first episode. Based off this first episode, it's going to be very telling, and it's really going to be make or break for this series. I think if they just do a bunch of fan service, I think a lot of people will be mad. Some people might just love it and just eat it up, but we're just going to have to wait till Sunday and just wait until the overall series is done. I'm definitely going to review the series when it's done to give you my thoughts, but until then, I'll check you out on the next video. Peace.
want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. I gotta do more than just the average man would do. I gotta set a mark that can't nobody touch. The place that I won't go, and I feel as though if you got love and you putting out real shit, you can do that. If you kicking that shit from your heart, you can go wherever your heart wants you to go. You have to be diligent about what you want. You have to apply yourself. You have to motivate yourself. And you have to do it for yourself, by yourself. And then you can do things for other people.